Hello, welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about dry weddings. Should you have them? Should they be an option? Are they acceptable? We're going to cover all of that. So thank you for watching my video. This is my second video officially, and I did have quite a few responses to my first one, so thank you. So I'm going to get right into it. So you may be considering having a dry wedding, and in case the term dry wedding isn't clear, it's not have serving alcohol at your wedding. So maybe just water, soft drinks, iced tea, and that's it. Uh, so first, I'm going to start with when it is acceptable, when I think it's acceptable to have a dry wedding. And I think the only time that it is acceptable, and this is just my personal opinion, so it's not like a rule that's written anywhere. It's your wedding, and everyone is free to do whatever they want or whatever they think is appropriate for their event. So this is only my opinion. And then at the end, after I go over my opinion and why I think, why I'm for or against it, then I'm going to give you some stats based on uh, like a study that was conducted where they polled people and then people were able to respond a few questions about whether they thought that it was absolutely necessary or not necessary to have alcohol at a wedding. So, first, the only reason I find it acceptable to not have alcohol at a wedding is if you feel very strongly against alcohol. So, if you're like completely against it and you don't drink and you don't think people should drink and you feel that you are sending a negative message by having it at your wedding, then you should probably not do it. And this may be as a result of recovering, being in AA, having family members that are. So, whatever your personal reason is for a dry wedding, then that's completely fine, and you should not have alcohol. Another reason is for religious reasons. So, if you are don't drink because for religious reasons, and then everyone else that you are friends with that's going to come to your wedding, your family, they hold these beliefs as well, then that's another reason why it's perfectly fine to not have alcohol at your wedding. Now, a lot of people that do have a dry wedding is as a result of their budget. They're trying to save money on their wedding. And I do have a blog post that I wrote about ways to cut expenses on your wedding. And not serving alcohol was not one of those. It was not on the list. So I am a firm believer that if you drink, if you have friends that drink, then you should definitely not have a dry wedding and you should definitely serve alcohol. And so I'm going to go through some reasons. I have some notes to make sure I stay on track and that I cover everything that I want to cover. So the first reason that I have is you want to make sure that you don't lose guests as a result. So I know that we want to believe that everyone loves us and that they're going to go to our wedding because they want to be part of this special day. And some people go as far as saying, well, if this person really cares about me, then they wouldn't care that there's no alcohol at my wedding. Or there's better if you can't have fun without alcohol, then you have a problem. And I don't think any of these things are good enough as an excuse to not serve alcohol. I think that you are a host and you are supposed to be a good host. People are going out of their way to go to your event and to celebrate your day. So I think that the right thing to do is to have the option available if they do want to have a drink. Another reason is people feel strongly about it. You could tell someone that you're not serving alcohol and they may choose not to go to your wedding. They may choose to go, but they may choose to also bring something along with them, and then tell other people at their table, and they may keep going outside to, get drinks from their car. I've seen it happen. So you don't want to lose part of your crowd just because they are going outside to find their own entertainment. Um, Another reason is you may want to have a party. So for some of you, maybe it's important to just have a nice gathering and keep it small and simple and have a nice dinner, and maybe a big party with people dancing and really getting down is not your thing. But if it is important to you, then you may want to consider that some people may not loosen up enough to go for that fun party that people will be talking about for years to come. So that's another reason. Weddings are boring. I mean, they're fun for you, and you've been looking forward to it for a year or a year and a half, and you've been planning, and maybe your mom and your best friend has been planning and looking forward to it. But for everyone else, they're looking forward to having fun with people they haven't seen in a long time. I mean, they're looking forward to celebrating a day with you, and people care about things like that. But when it comes down to it, people are taking 4 to 6 hours out of their day. They may be even taking a whole weekend if they're traveling from somewhere. So you want to make sure that they're not disappointed, that they do have a good time. And not to say that people shouldn't be able to have fun without drinking, but it's just the reality. People go to a wedding and they expect to have drinks. So that's just the best thing to do, is to meet people's expectations. And I've seen a few questions asked: if you aren't serving alcohol, should you tell people? And I think you should. I think it's a majority of people that I encounter do expect to have alcohol served at a wedding. They do expect to have a cocktail. So if you are not going to be doing that, then I think it is best to just let the guests know, if they ask, that you will not have cocktails available. Also, I see some questions sometimes from brides. Is it okay to have a cocktail hour with just serving alcohol for just the cocktail hour, and then serving alcohol and then taking it away after the cocktail hour, so at least they get an hour? No, that is not acceptable. You do not want to put something out there and then take it away, and then have guests going up to the bar following the cocktail hour and asking for a drink, and then not being able to, and then being disappointed that the drinks went away. So I think that's a poor reflection of the host, and you just don't want to be that person. Cash bar, I think a cash bar in lieu of no bar is probably better, but no, cash bar is a big no-no. I don't think that a cash bar is acceptable either. People are going out of their way. They're giving you a nice gift. They've bought a dress. Women have gone to do their hair and their makeup and their nails, and they've put a big investment in you. So I think the least you could do is not have them walk up to a bar expecting a drink, and then having the surprise you have to pay for that drink. So those are just my opinions, and now I'm going to go over some numbers. A CNN poll, which I think CNN is pretty legitimate, of 37,000 people they polled, and found that that 80% of respondents said that dry weddings are not fine. So 80% of people said dry weddings are not acceptable. 3% agree that it's a pain, but they deal. The rest agreed that open bar, even if it's a cash bar, so people who were polled said that 80% of them, or 77% of them, agreed that even if it's a cash bar, which again, I've stated it's a huge don't do it, would find that better than no bar, than a dry wedding. And then 5% of people that were polled said they wouldn't attend, like they wouldn't even go. They wouldn't even go. So there it is. That was an actual poll of people. So if you are considering a dry bar, and you're kind of hesitant, it's probably because you know that that you shouldn't do it. But if you did want to save money, like if you're doing the dry bar to try to save on your wedding, then what I would suggest is maybe just doing beer and wine. That's usually more cost effective than a full open bar. And then I would add to that a signature cocktail. So sometimes if you are having just beer and wine, then just to add a little more variety, because you know, some people don't like beer or wine, and then they can have a third option of just a signature cocktail that is served as well. You could also have a theme. So if you did have like a morning, like if you had closer to a daytime wedding, you could have like a brunch theme and have serve mimosas, and that could be the alcoholic beverage, mimosas or Bloody Marys maybe. Um, or something like that. There's a lot of ideas that you could of things that you could do if you Google it, like different themes. If you did want to have dry wedding, then going having a daytime wedding would be the way to go, definitely, because then people would find it like, well, we can't drink at like 12 o'clock noon, uh, or I mean, I'd drink at a wedding at 12 noon. But yeah, so that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching my video. I have a giveaway that I have on my Facebook page right now. So I am giving away a Fuji, one of those instant like Polaroid cameras, for signing up for my mailing list. And then once you sign up for the mailing list, you'll get instructions on how you can be eligible to win. And it's a really nice, it's cool for photo books or for guest books at weddings. But there's a lot more detail in my Facebook page. So I'll link the Facebook page here on the video, and then you can just go and take a look at the details and sign up, and you can win a free camera. So that's pretty cool. So thanks for watching. Bye.